Hopefully the next time I see you, it'll be with our killer behind bars.
And us below ground.
Take care now.
And we're back with Killer Frequency. This might be the last episode. Maybe it's the penultimate episode. I'm not quite sure. And yeah, let's just dive right in. It's heating up. We're on our way to find out who the killer is. But honestly, I don't have any clue. I don't even have a theory. We know it's the woman that was formerly known as Dawn. And we know that it has something to do with pranks and a couple of people from the city, and someone died during a prank. That's pretty much it, but I don't know, man. I don't know more than that. So I always have a theory, but in this case my mind's completely blank. So we'll see, let's surprise ourselves. And also, I don't know if you can get a good ending and a bad ending or something like that, but I think we're headed towards the bad ending, so brace yourselves.
Let's roll.
You got it. We've got another call coming through, too.
Welcome back to 189.16, The Scream. I believe we have another caller on the line. How are you tonight, caller?
Forrest, it's me, Roller Ricky. Oh, and Maxie's here too.
Good to hear from you again. How are you both doing?
Aw, we're good, man, thanks to you. You're like our guardian angel.
That wouldn't be a bad look for you, Forrest. A little White Wing Halo number? Maybe something for the K-Fam Halloween party.
All right, everyone, let's calm down. Ricky, I'm just glad we could help you and Maxie.
Is there anything else we can help you with, Ricky?
Actually, I think I have some info that might help you.
Ooh.
Oh? What's that?
You see, man, me and Jason know each other.
You know each other?
Yeah, we went to Gallus High and played on the football team together. He was a gnarly offensive linesman, and I was our star wide receiver. Runner Ricky, they called me.
All right, and what does that have to do with tonight?
Well, because George, the guy who drowned, he was on our team too.
Tell me about him. What was George like?
I didn't know him for long, man. Sad to say. We had our first team party on the night he drowned. He seemed like such a good dude.
Ricky, were you there when George drowned?
No, man. Once the party turned, I beat feet out of there. Man, I remember George and his girl there.
Okay.
There was a whole
It's
lot
her.
of love, man. I could see it, you know?
Ricky, listen, this is very important. I need to know everything about her.
I didn't really know her before, or see her after that. I never even got her name, man. I just remember he called her Bean.
Then what did she look like? Please, tell us anything you remember.
I just remember a pretty girl, man. I'm sorry.
Ricky, you said the party didn't last long. What happened?
We were just having a good time, and then the next thing I knew, everyone was running for their life. I looked up and saw a goddamn whistling man in the trees. And I never ran so fast in my life. I ran straight home. Didn't know about George until next morning at school.
I'm guessing it was whistling night, wasn't it? That the whistling man was just another kid.
Yeah. I don't know how George died, but I always felt like if anyone deserved to die that night, it should have been me. And
Ricky, it wasn't your fault. You're not a bad person.
I know that now, ma'am. It took a long time to learn, but yeah, just thought I'd tell you all what I know.
Thank you, Ricky.
This helps. Thank you.
You got it, man. Anyway, I think it's time for me and Maxie to free up your phone lines. Thanks for listening, man. I'll let you to it.
Night, Ricky. right, folks. Looks like we got a new lead in the case. If anyone has any info about this mysterious being, please call in.
If she was George's girlfriend back then, she's probably in her mid to late 30s now. Huh. Oh, we have another call coming in, but hang on.
What's up, Peggy?
What?
Peggy?
You're gonna want to take this call off the air.
Who is it?
Just do it.
All right, folks, it's time for another track. Here's one to help you sit back and relax. We'll be right back after this.
She sounded...
I hope this is good news, Peggy. Who have we got?
Find out for yourself on
Okay.
line 1.
It's not Dawn. It's not the murderer. It's not Bean.
Hello?
Forrest, I'm glad I got back through to you. Sounds like it's been a busy night, huh?
Surprise! It's Leslie, our 911 operator, leading the charge from Henderson to come save us. It's so good to hear from you. Are you okay?
I am. I'm driving back with an officer from Henderson now. We got back into radio range a little while ago. We've been listening in, but haven't been able to get through until now.
One officer? Are you fucking kidding me? Did you listen? Did you hear how many people got killed? And we tried to save a few of them, but still, you know, it shouldn't be on us to save them. I mean, you got one officer? Okay.
Ever since you found Sheriff Matthews, it's only gotten worse. It's been a long night.
Well, it shouldn't be too much longer now. I'm glad I got through to you. I wanted to let you all know what's going on. I made it to Henderson. Turns out somebody had cut the phone lines, and they had no idea what was happening. After I told them, well, their sheriff sent a goddamn squad back with me to stop this.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
great news. That's crazy about the phone lines, though. Do you think the whistling man cut them?
I'm guessing so. I don't know how the whistling man did it. But that doesn't matter right now. Listen, we're coming in hot, but we need your help. I know Gallows Creek isn't a big town, but if we don't know where the whistling man is, we can't get him. Her. That's where you come in.
You can count on us. What do you need?
It might be a long shot, but here goes. The whistling man already called up a few times. I bet she calls again. We're still a little ways out of town, so if she calls, stall her.
Ooh.
Buy as much time as you can for us to get in. And while you're talking to her, try to figure out where she is. We'll be listening in, so once her location is known, we'll head straight there and end this nightmare.
It'll be the radio station. It will be the radio station. I can tell you this much. And we will find out the longer we talk to her. Right? I'll do my best.
Do my best.
I know you will. Heck, I can see the headlines now. Forrest Nash's interview of a lifetime. Anyway, I'll radio the other cars and tell them the plan is a go. Hopefully the next time I see you, it'll be with our killer behind bars.
And us below
Take
ground.
We'll see you soon, Leslie. Thank God. It sounds like this is almost over. We're nearly through this.
I don't know. Because the way Peggy is situated and we don't see her face, I still have this image of her not being alone in the booth. You know, I mean, it feels like a setup. Also, apparently you get probably a lot of more information if you save all the people, because all the people are related to the killings, which is typical slasher fare. And we got so many people killed that we hardly got any information. And so we'll see if you still can get a kind of goodish ending or if you actually get killed. But that would also be quite interesting, you know. Okay. I don't think it's going to be that easy. Yeah, but what does it do if we say it? It's obvious. We got so many people killed. Obviously, it's not easy for us. For me. It's really hard for me, you know. Because with this game, I talked to Tench Froze to the comments about it on the last episode, I think. That because at the beginning there was an award for taking too much time to respond to Peggy. and you have timed answers, but it feels like, I feel like at least one person got killed because I went back to the map, frazzled, wanted to look something up, and then it was too late. And it feels like if I would have immediately given the right answer, we could have done something. And so I never know when something is timed, when something is time sensitive, unless there's a timer. But I feel like there's also things that are timed even though the timer is not showing. And so that puts me under a lot of stress. And usually I'm someone, I need to check twice, 3 times, you know. Like, I'm Santa Claus, I'm checking the list, you know. And so that's why I'm horrible in this game. I really am. And it's fine because we're doing it for fun and entertainment. This is not a channel about amazing gameplay. But still, I don't think it's going to be easy. But at the same time, what does it matter if I say this or not? So let's be pragmatic.
Best we don't waste any time then. Let's get back on air.
You got it. Okay, Forrest, shut the music off. Bringing you back live now.
Welcome back to The Scream with me, Forrest Nash. The line is lit up, but before I get to our next caller, I just want to say, things are looking up. It's almost over. But for now, let's bring in our next caller.
Oh, okay.
Evening, caller. This is Forrest Nash.
Hello, Forrest. This is John Hedges. I'm here with Casey. I wanted to give you an update on Jason.
John, is he going to be okay?
He's a fighter. He'll be fine. We've got him stabilized and resting in a bed. We're preparing to move him to the hospital.
Thank you so much. If you hadn't been there, then... God, I don't even want to think about what would have happened.
Of course, Casey. We're just happy he's okay.
John, Casey, you two did all the work. Tell Jason to get well soon from us, whenever he's up for it.
Well, why don't you tell him yourself?
Is this Forrest?
Oh, Jason Parker survived the Whistling Man. Yeah, one of the few. Also, Casey and Leslie sound very much alike. Very much so. But I get, like, indie productions, you know, they can't afford 30 different voice actors. The one and only.
The one and only. I hope you're feeling better.
It's good to hear you, Jason. How are you?
Oh, well, you know, I've got a hole in my stomach, and there's a knife in my leg, but John gave me something to take the edge off. So, I might feel even better than either of you. Oh.
Take it easy until you get to St. Gabriel's.
I will. But, before that, I needed to call you. I'm guessing the Whistling Man is still out there?
Yep. As far as we know, anyway.
I was worried you'd say that. God damn it.
Actually, I'm glad you called. I wanted to talk to you about what happened earlier.
Go for it.
We spoke to Roller Ricky not long after you were attacked.
You spoke to Ricky? Is he alright?
He is now. I mean, he was attacked earlier, but this call came after.
Hey, guys, I'm really sorry, but there's a call on the other line. I just need to make sure we don't have another situation brewing. You fill Jason in on what happened. I'll be right back.
Sure, Peggy. Sorry, Jason. Where was I? Ah, yep. Ricky's fine. You don't need to worry about him.
That's a relief.
He told us about George.
Sounds like everything's finally coming out now. It's been tough to hold it all in.
Sounds like you've been holding back about something awful, Jason.
I'm part of the reason my best friend is dead, Forrest. And the few who knew about it said if I ever said anything, I'd find myself in jail. For a long time. It was hell. And then the town just moved on. Like he'd never existed.
What happened that night?
I went along with the stupid prank, that's what. Whistling night. Some of the guys on the football team had an idea for a way we could haze the newcomers. We decided to plan a party in the woods and have the Whistling Man crash it. It was stupid. We each had a role. I was the stabbed friend, party that night, I left the group for a second. Met our whistling man. Pretended to get stabbed in front of everyone. Started an almighty panic. Those screams. That was the last time I saw or heard George alive.
How did George die, Jason?
I don't know. I was playing dead. But when I heard her scream...
Ricky mentioned a girl named Bean. Is that who you mean?
Bean? Oh yeah. I guess George did call her that. Yeah. He called her Bean. I heard her again tonight, Forrest. Her name was...
What? What happened? Are we still on air?
No, we're not. Seems like the power is completely gone.
How do we get it back on?
I don't, we can use the emergency generator down in the basement. Reggie picked it up a while ago in case we ever needed to do an emergency broadcast.
An emergency broadcast?
Emergency? You know, nuclear war, alien attack, broadcasting a serial killer's location to the cops so we can end this nightmare.
Fair point.
It's in the storage area in the far back corner, up on the wall. You might have spotted it earlier when you were digging around for all those tapes. It'll have a big red button. Just press that.
Okay, I can do that.
See you when you're back.
Maybe I'll see you and someone else in that booth. Okay. I don't like this. I'm a scaredy cat in the darkness. I really am. Especially inside buildings, weirdly. Not a fan. Especially rooms where you can't see the end. You know, a small cramped room, that's totally fine, you know. But... But here we have lights, so that's okay. Oh. No, it's this way.
Far back corner. Why is this station so big?
I'm wondering if we see something or someone.
That must be it.
Bop!
Oh, we've got power. The whistling man. I need to warn Peggy.
Do I have to hide? Or just get out? Shit. Ugh, getting lost. What? Oh. Oh no! Where? There.
What the hell?
What? What was that? What was that? I don't even know. What happened? Ugh. I mean, would you really just, you know, be super soul, look around casually? No. You'd be, oh shit. Peggy!
Oh no.
Oh, no. No. What's that? Happy birthday, Peg. Now you're great and 8. Oh, they don't need love am. Oh. Oh. I thought about
Peggy,
it.
where'd you go?
Ah! Okay. That's nice.
No way. This can't be happening. A call.
What do I have to...
Did Dawn press the Peggy button? Did she want me to hit it on my end? Where's Peggy, Dawn?
Have
Probably
some patience for us.
safe. She's
Almost
safe.
the end of the night. Almost the end of the show. But it's not over just yet. Got a little time
still. So let's make the most of it.
But then Peggy's in on it. I mean, you recognize the voice of your sister, right?
What do you mean? Make the most of it how?
Well, I thought we'd end tonight's Whistling Man special with a special guest. The one who started it all. Let me take that out of your mouth and...
You crazy bitch!
That's
Let me
Peggy.
go.
No.
Welcome to the air, Mr. Teddy Gallows
Huh?
Jr.
Wait,
It's all gonna come out tonight, Teddy. Your daddy and his money saved you 20 years ago. But even if you crawled out of his coffin with all the money in the world,
wait. Where the hell is Teddy? How are you talking to him if you're here with me?
Peggy?
because I'm not there with you, Forrest. I'm here with Teddy. And if he says where that is, well, he knows he'll get it.
It's Peggy.
Wait, then who am I looking at?
Peggy.
Forrest Nash, let me introduce you and all of Gallows Creek to my boy,
Oh,
Henry Barrow.
okay.
Your son? You mean you... Wait, that he...
Yes, Forrest. He and I had a son.
So there were two whistling men tonight. Of course. That explains how you were always able to get around town so quickly.
Hang on. Did you say Barrow? Then are you?
Let me just get this mask off. Damn uncomfortable thing. No wonder Mooney went crazy wearing this. There we go.
Marie? Marie Campbell? George's old girl. Oh. Well, it sure has been years since I last saw. Oh, God damn it.
Not Donna. Well, we knew this. Quiet, Teddy. Where's this going? So Peggy is not involved, but she knows the murderer. Her. I guess. So they're not sisters? Maybe they're more friends? And I thought it was Peggy. I know she has different hair, but there's something like wigs, you know, and we never saw Peggy really like her face or anything. So that's why, you know.
Where are you going with all of this?
Everyone's gonna know now what Teddy did.
Okay.
He killed George that night. This night. 20 years ago.
Listen to me. You. Ah!
You're gonna talk when I talk to you. And not a moment before. Meanwhile, Forrest, I'm gonna give you the chance to talk. You're gonna help me reveal what really happened to George all those years ago.
Let's do it because we have to play along, right?
Okay, Marie. I'll do it.
Good. Then let's talk about the night George was murdered.
Murdered? Listen,
I said you speak when you're spoken to. Now, I know you've done some good work tonight, piecing together what happened to George 20 years ago, and that's why I want you to interview us.
Okay, first of all, the sounds of her slapping him sound like it's very feeble slapping. It really sounds like she's just and then we didn't do good analysis, you know. I mean, we can't really help. But here's the thing, yeah, she didn't listen in on the police to asking us to stall the murderer, her. So that's why we should do that. So let's, you know, humor her.
Interview you. All right. I can do that.
Thank you. I want you to help me and Teddy tell the story, Forrest. Do a good job. And hell, you might be the only one to leave here alive.
I need to drag this out. If I can buy Leslie time to get back to Gallows Creek, and if I can find out where Marie is, then this can end. Teddy, we'll start with you. Just, talk me through what happened that night. How did it start?
How would I know? It was 20 years ago.
Someone died. Hidden memory. No, I will not do that. Someone died. Of course you remember.
Teddy, be honest with me or we're both going to die.
Honest? Forrest, I'm trapped here with a psycho. Ow. What the hell? God damn it. Okay. Our first team party was coming up. And when I saw the date it was scheduled for, I had an idea for a way we could prank the new guys.
Teddy's voice actor has very weird choices for the character. A little too glib, and I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know what it is about it, but it's like someone doesn't grasp the intensity of the situation here. Whistling Night, right?
I understand that kids in Gallows Creek know tonight as Whistling Night. I'm guessing that's what you mean?
Well, we didn't have a name for it then. It was just the night that Mooney went missing. But Whistling Night is what they'd call it later.
Wait. You mean this was the first Whistling Night?
Keep talking, Teddy.
We went up near Whistling Point. God, who was there? Me, Jason, and George, of course. But George didn't come alone. He brought Marie.
And Roller Ricky, he was there too, wasn't he?
Yes, Ricky was there too. Runner Ricky, our wide receiver. I helped him off the bottle, you know. Because I'm a decent man.
Is that so?
Yes, it is. He came apart one day. Some people do. He had some issues. Wasn't stable. I didn't want him to hurt his chances in life. So, I helped him keep himself together.
Yeah. You were afraid he would talk about that night, weren't you?
Keep talking.
About midway through the night, we put the prank into action.
We looked up at the trees and saw Jason there. Bloody, like he'd just been stabbed. And the whistling man. Everyone screaming. George and I and Ricky, we got left behind. But Ricky was in on it too. I know he was. He and Teddy were as close as anybody. Teddy must have told him the plan.
He didn't know, right? Did he?
Did you ask Ricky if he knew or not?
I didn't see any reason to. Why?
Because Ricky phoned up earlier. He didn't know anything about it, Marie.
What?
He had no idea what was happening. He said he was as terrified as anybody. Isn't that right, Teddy? You didn't tell him, did you?
Ricky never could keep his mouth shut. If we told him, he would have given everything away.
But he... well... doesn't matter. He didn't run his mouth enough to tell anybody about it afterwards. He's still guilty.
It was just a stupid prank.
What's that noise? There's a weird, super annoying noise here, and I'm not quite sure what it is. Is that a secret document? Like, what is this? Huh. Just a prank?
How can you still say it was just a prank?
Oh, come on. Oh, God. Damn it.
You made George think Jason had been murdered. He thought his best friend was dead.
And so tonight you stabbed him for real?
It's the role he wanted to play.
Jason's still alive, Marie. He was with a friend. We talked her through how to stop the bleeding and got him professional help just in time.
Oh. Well, shame he didn't have the good sense to die earlier. He's gonna regret that. Enough about him. Me and George took off running, but somehow we got separated in the woods. I ended up near the bottom of Whistling Point, and when I noticed George wasn't with me, I panicked. And then, I don't know how he snuck
How did you feel in that moment?
I felt like nothing was real. I felt small and confused. And
Who was under the mask, Marie? Who was the whistling man?
it was Chuck. Chuck Brody. Laughing away. But then he stops. And he's looking up. At the top of Whistling Point.
What was he looking at? Teddy, what happened next?
Nothing. I mean, it was just
Teddy?
George fell off Whistling Point.
You know how Teddy sounds like? Like William Shatner doing Rocket Man. He has the intonation of Matt Berry in What We Do in the Shadows, but he doesn't have the pathos to put it behind it and pull it into a ridiculous but amazing territory. So it's just weird, like William Shatner doing Rocket Man. That's what I thought of, because he has a weird way of sometimes waiting between words that shouldn't have a space between, you know. Okay. How do you know?
How do you know what happened?
I saw it.
You pushed him. You were up there.
What?
You were dressed as the Whistling Man too, and
I didn't push him. God damn it. I just chased him up there and he kept backing up. When I saw he was about to go over, I reached out. That's what you saw.
you liar.
It's not my fault. He didn't know it was a joke.
It is.
If he'd had any brains,
No.
he would have realized.
No.
Ugh. You bitch. No one's going to believe this. After all you did.
I mean, don't we currently stream it live on the radio for everyone to hear in the city, in the village, in the town, whatever?
If she's lying, why the cover-up?
My future was at stake, Nash. You know what it's like. People like us are bred for bigger things. I'm going to be the mayor of this town, of course. And then governor. And then, who knows? What happened that night was tragic. It should never have happened. But it was a mistake. It was just a stupid joke gone wrong. So my father sent Clive out to clean it up. Why should a blip ruin my future?
George was a blip?
He wasn't a blip, Marie.
His father covered it up from there. I searched for George's body all night, but
Sandra found him the next morning while out jazz running.
she found him in the river, but she lied about that to protect Teddy.
She said something about her rent going up, unless she... Teddy, did your father own Sandra Sharp's dance studio?
It's Gallows Creek, not Sharp Creek.
He's so cartoonishly evil. I mean, I imagine him to have like a swirling mustache, you know. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous at this point. And it's so weird because Marie's voice actress is really serious. She's more on the serious side. And Teddy is this goof, you know, this goofishly Lucky Luke kind of villain. It's absurd. It's kind of a weird... For me, it's a little bit of an immersion disconnect because I listen to Marie and the story is tragic, you know. I mean, it's very typical, but still, it fits the whole game and the genre. And then Teddy is like this buffoon, you know. It is really weird for me to kind of gauge what the writers and the director of voice acting wanted to accomplish here. So I don't want to... I really think this would be bad if we would go down this lane, because we had this option a couple of times to hit him again. But I think probably if we do that, we will kill him. So I will I will not help him lie, but I will also not help her hurt him.
I'd answer the question if I were you, Teddy.
Yes, okay. We own most of the town.
That's it then. Your father was going to run her out of business unless she lied and said she found him in the reservoir instead of the river.
What my father did in his business dealings is nothing to do with me.
The false reports. That's why you killed Sheriff Matthews too, isn't it, Maria? Not just to get him out of the way, but...
Everyone was in on it, Forrest. Even the coroner wrote a fake report. Said George was drinking. That he just got himself into trouble. And...
I saw. I'm sorry. If Dr. Sullivan had survived, then maybe...
There's no excuse for what she did, Forrest. I did my part. I tried everything I could think of. I even went to the newspaper, but no. That coward killed the story. But Maurice Russell is dead
A
now.
lot of people dead. A lot of people. This has to stop though. Oh no, when will the killing end? We need to keep the conversation going. But also, now I will share my thoughts on pranks in general after the game is over, because I have them. And I'm closer to Marie's point of view, not killing people who do pranks, but not a fan of pranks. Okay.
When will the killing end, Marie?
End? When does it end?
You can't kill the world. This has to stop sometime.
It has to. It never should have started. He shouldn't have pushed my George off the cliff. He should have been punished. It's coming to a stop. At least for now. Here, where George and I first met, before he joined your football team, was right after he shot the winning throw.
Wait a sec.
It's the school gym?
We're at Gallows Creek High, in the gymnasium.
That's right, Forrest.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Not that it matters.
What is this?
Yes,
What are you doing?
we're here. Anyway, I think that about wraps up the interview with Teddy. So,
Marie? Where?
Peggy!
Teddy?
You gotta help me.
quiet. You'll talk more later. Now I have to talk to someone who mattered more than you ever did. Peggy. It's been so long since I've seen your face. I worried you wouldn't come.
Marie! Oh my god. I thought you...
And here I was, thinking you'd forgot me.
I'd never forget my own sister.
Sister? Peggy, what's
I
happening?
know.
Why are you even there?
Wanna explain, Peggy?
Earlier, while you were speaking to Jason, I got a call. Do you remember? Well, it was from Dawn. She said that my sister Marie was there that night George died, and that I should come to the gym for a reunion.
And when you walked in, you found out.
That my sister is the Whistling Man.
Good to see you too, Peggy.
Why didn't you tell me any of this?
She said that it was my last chance to see my sister. I knew if I told you, you'd try to stop me or come with me when we need you on the radio. And I just...
You should have said something. You should have told me.
I know, okay? I should have. But I didn't imagine this situation then, so just... What happened to you, Marie? You just disappeared one day.
Disappeared. I was thrown out, Peggy. I begged Mom and Dad to do something about what happened that night, but did they care? No. They told me to stay quiet. They only cared when they learned I'd been with George. And
Marie, I'm so sorry. I never knew.
it's not your fault. Really, it's Mom and Dad I should be seeing right now. But since they're dead and gone, well, I'll have to settle for the next best thing.
Wait. Is that why you went after that kid in the maze? Eugene Stein? Because his parents?
That's right. Eugene's parents were there that night too. But they got themselves killed in a bus accident.
What?
And since only their child was left... Murray, please. Mom and Dad are gone, Peggy. Besides, you forgot me. Just like the rest. You forgot.
Marie, Peggy never forgot about you.
Keep your mouth shut.
She kept a card from you. She kept it here on her desk.
What card? The card you made me for my 8th birthday. What does it say then?
Happy birthday, Peg. Now you're great and 8. Love, M.
Henderson police!
Yay!
No! Henry! Get out of there!
That's hilarious.
Peggy!
Do we see
Two
them?
wounded, and we're in pursuit of the suspect.
Henderson police! Freeze!
I'm staying in here.
Forrest!
Leslie, how's Peggy?
She's been cut pretty bad, but we're here now.
Oh, thank God.
I'll be okay. God, Marie!
Hey, officer! I need you to look after Peggy. She needs help. Now. We got here just in the nick of
Ooh,
time.
she could have
Where's
died.
Marie?
Ooh.
She bolted right as we got here. The police are right on her heels. It won't be long now. It's over, Forrest.
Well, folks, it was a long night, but we made it through together. I'm gonna head off to go check on Peggy. This has been Forrest Nash. And it's been a scream.
I'm sorry, but it's... I think the cheesy line works best for this. First Nash survived the whistling. I could have died! Reached the end of the whistling night. The end. Well, it's okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people died. I think because of the kids. There were a lot of kids. Oh.
Come in. One suspect is in custody. We've trailed the other suspect into the nearby woods.
So loud. Open the door to skip the epilogue and credits. Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, sorry. I just wish the music was quieter because actually I have to skip it. I'm sorry. Because if I could turn down the music, I could talk over the credits and we could still see them. But in this case, I don't wanna... I'm too impatient for like a whole song. So that was Killer Frequency. I guess there's numerous endings. Peggy could have died. I could have died. Teddy could have died, obviously. I think... I'm not quite sure whether I managed to save Peggy because I asked the Eugene question. So here's the thing. I could have said don't. But I asked the Eugene question to keep her talking, because then she would have to explain herself more. And with don't, you know, don't kill her, she could have just said, oh, I will, and then stabby stab stab. And so maybe that was the way to go, to basically keep the trail going and always asking questions and making comments to further the story instead of telling her what to do, because she was very clear and you know, on what she wanted to do. Yeah, very interesting. I'm super interested that also Teddy also could have gotten killed. Probably if we wouldn't have let her to talk so long that the police could arrive, probably her son would have killed us, right? So that's quite interesting. So that's why he was already leering at the window. That was probably the second step. And then the third step would have been like probably bashing the window or something and then getting us. Would have liked to see that, to be quite honest. And as we saw on the murder wall... It wasn't that many, it felt like a lot. It felt like, and still, theoretically it was a lot. Every single person is too much, you know. I guess we could have saved the sheriff, and then a couple of other people. But I think we saved so many because of the kids party. We only lost one kid, which is bad enough. But I think because we saved most of the others, that wall was a lot less red than it could have been. All in all, yeah, one thing I don't get is, I mean, even if the sister left Peggy while she was still a kid, wouldn't Peggy at some point throughout the evening would have mentioned that her sister knew the kids? I mean, that she could have said, you know, oh yeah, my sister also was the same age. You would say something like that, wouldn't you? And also with the voices, I feel like at least be a little bit suspicious if you hear a voice and you're like, you know, when sometimes you hear a voice or you see a face and you're like, I know that person. I don't know where from, but I know that person. So, I mean, obviously when it's your sister, you immediately recognize their face. But I think even with the voice, you're like, well, where do I know this voice from? You know, because Dawn did not sound different from Marie. You know, that wasn't a whole, like... So that was super weird. And that was one of those... yeah, plot devices for bad slashers where you have a lot of twists and turns and then you're like, well, they really should have known because they know that person so personally. They heard them talk, you know. You recognize people by their voice. That really, it is what it is, you know. But I understand it for this type of game and for the type of story this wanted to tell, because this really is a cheesy 80s slasher that does not have to make sense at all. Yeah. My review, overall, I really enjoyed this. I thought the gameplay was really fun. I thought the pacing was alright. I think I already mentioned. I thought sometimes the line delivery took too long. Teddy as well. Teddy drew out words and made spaces between words where it feels like you don't need to pause between every single word. Teddy, this is not poetry slam. This is a line reading. And especially you're under stress, so you're more likely to talk faster. Instead of, you know, sitting on a stage smoking a cigar or cigarette and be like, hey, don't hurt me, Marie. So that was annoying, and so the pacing was mostly for the line reading and the voice acting at times, because it took too long. There was too much fluff, you know, too much fluff in between the lines, and because the overall game had great pacing, I think with the colors and everything, I liked that there were. The humor was not super my thing, you know, with the pizza guy or whatever. That wasn't my biggest thing, but I appreciated it. I thought it was nice and funny, and it didn't overstay its welcome too much. So I liked it on that account. The pacing and the mix of tonality was fine. But with the line reading and the writing of the dialogue, it sometimes was weird the way how casual they reacted after they killed someone, you know, or someone got killed. How they switched very banal topics, you know. I mean, yes, you're doing a radio show, but come on, this is a situation where we can really say, people, honestly, if we play the same song over and over again, it is what it is. We will not play a certain star's song in this show because this is a really, like... You know, if that record label would have, you know, said we will never send you any exclusives anymore, then you could have gone to the papers and said they did this, they forced this after our town was forced to have the radio station as the 911 line, and they still, you know, thought that their stupid single is more important than that. So you could have publicized that and just, you know, drag the publishing label. So there were certain priorities where I felt like this is not how it would work in reality. And even in a slasher movie scenario, it wouldn't be like this. So, but I get that, you know, it was there to kind of interrupt the tense moments of saving people and to have a little bit more back and forth with Peggy and Forrest. So... yeah, for me it was a bit of a dissonance now and then with the levity of the situation compared to we actually got people killed, you know. I mean, that's just me. That's also, there's certain things where I'm more a party pooper because I always think about if I were in that situation, or, you know, I think 3 steps, and not just in a smart way, more in the personal interaction and emotional way. And I'm like, well, in an actual situation, you know, you wouldn't react like that because it would be tasteless. So that's why it felt a bit more jarring to me than probably for a lot of other players. So that's more a subjective thing. And but all in all, I think it was super fun. I really enjoyed myself. There was no time when I was bored. and I do think it has replay value. Maybe not on this channel, you know, I'm not that type of channel. But on my own, I might try it again and just see, sorry, if I can get a different ending, if I can get everyone saved, or what happens if you get everyone killed. What happens then? You know, that was also quite interesting. And then, yeah, I think it looked lovely. It was... I really, it's such a small detail, but you saw me over and over again. I did this a lot. I like that you could play the little paper ball game to throw it in the trash, because you had a lot of times where you just listened, and then it was nice to have to do something, even if it's just, you know, because that, it was kind of the equivalent of doodling while you were in a video meeting or something. And so I enjoyed that. They had a lot of things where you could discover things while you were walking out and about, just to see, also pick up on locations of certain documents for later. So that was all, yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed this, you know. It's maybe not the best horror game of the year. That currently for me is Amnesia the Bunker, but it's still in the top because it's so entertaining. You know, it's not necessarily scary, although there were a few moments where it was a little bit spooked, you know, and creeped out. But it did the thing that the good 80s movie slasher does, which is entertain you and be, you know, fast-paced. So I really enjoyed that. Yes, and pranks. I hate pranks. For the very reasons, because there's this, we heard this over and over, it was just a prank. And, you know, he should have known that this was a joke. How, though? At the core of these kind of pranks is that the person really believes what happens. So you cannot fault the person for doing things they would do because for them it's a high stress situation. They believe it's real, you know. And when you're in that, like, your reptile brain, basically your instincts take over, and, you know, you're not really... I think it's super difficult when your instincts take over and you're in survival mode to then think of whether something is probable or not. And so I hate this kind of, you know, when people overreact, or when people get really angry or do something while they're in distress because of a prank, then the pranksters say, oh, it was just a prank, they should have known. No, it was literally at the core of your prank that the person does not know that it is a prank. And that's what I don't like about pranks of this type. I think there's very light ones, good-natured ones. I like pranks that are so good-natured that everyone wins. And they do exist. I can't think of an example right now, but, you know, but even then, I'm not the biggest fan, for example, of prank shows where just random strangers get drawn into this, you know, and get filmed. Even if they can give their consent that this will be shared, or it won't be shared on social media, just the fact that they were initially filmed is already something that I don't like. I don't know, that whole scenario already is iffy to me. And then those weird scare pranks are the worst kind of shit. I mean, it's for me, pranksters who do this, who like to scare people, who like to humiliate people, who like to inflict fear and then laugh at the reactions, are the biggest kind of assholes. And I don't get it. It's not funny, it's concerning, and it's close to criminal, because really the question is, until the prank is revealed, this is a really real situation for the victim of the prank. And it's my subjective thing. You can think otherwise, you know, especially, I mean, there's levels, of course, you know, like if you scare your hubby at home, then maybe, you know, it's not like they're not terrified. They're just like, oh, you dick, you know. So that's different. But for those social media channels, we've all heard, you know, and seen probably like the influencer social media pranks where it just goes really over the line. There have been entire TV shows about it, you know, where people get scared shitless and then the world laughs at them. And then of course they laugh, you know, and then they say, yeah, you can show it on TV. But in a way it's kind of, I don't know, I don't like the whole concept of it is so wrong, because if I go to a horror show, if I watch a horror movie, if I read a horror book, I go into it free willingly, you know, with my consent. So I'm aware what happens, and I can basically balance my emotions, and I also can step out when I want to. But in a prank situation, I don't know what's happening, and so I cannot just say I don't like this, I go out of this situation, because I actually think it's real. And that is kind of, I don't know, why would you... Yeah. So that's my rant on pranks. So I like that Killer Frequency is basically the moral story. Don't prank people. Don't do it. You know, it's distasteful. So yeah, I really enjoyed this game. What did you think? So, all in all, what did you think? You could also write me how bad I was. It's fine. I know it, you know. But also you can write me, how did you like the game? How did you like the pacing? Everything that I mentioned that I liked or disliked, you know, do you agree? Do you disagree? What's your overall review of this game? Would this be a movie you would like to watch? And you can even share your opinion on pranks, you know. I'm super open to it, so feel free to share your comments, or if I missed something, you know, a clue or whatever. Now's the time, I guess. Now is the time to do it, you know, because, I mean, of course, there's still slight spoilers if you want to replay and play for a different ending. But all in all, I think we're at the end of the game. You know, feel free. I will not be, you know, I will be open for everything. And then, yeah, I'm not quite sure what longer game I will play next. I have a longer 1 session, maybe 2 session game ahead of me planned. But after that, I have to see what I want to play. I have a few ideas, but I don't want to share them right now because they might be longer than usual. Games that I play, and I'm not quite sure if I want to commit to that, because I actually like 5-part series. That's nice. That is something I really like, but anything longer than that can get a little bit annoying to myself even, you know. So I have to think about it. If you have suggestions and if you know my channel, that's the best approach, because, you know, if you watch a lot of my videos, you know what I like, what I don't like. So getting chased and having to solve puzzles, that's not something I like. I'm not really into shooters or something like that. But if you know of a game where you feel like, well, that's typical hula noob fare, and that's not too long, so maybe 4 to 6 hours maximum, then feel free to share it in the comments, and then I can take a look at it and see if this is something for the channel. How about that? Okay, this was super fun. I hope you enjoyed it too, and see you next time. Bye! This is my self-recorded outro song, so I don't get hit with copyright claims. If you subscribe to a lot of fun tutorials, reviews, and let's plays.